He emerged from the smoke of battle with fuses burning in his beard, a towering figure cloaked in black, firing pistols in both hands as terrified sailors jumped into the sea rather than face him. They called him Blackbeard, the most feared pirate to ever sail the Atlantic. But the truth behind the legend is even stranger, wilder, and more shocking than the stories. This is the real tale of Edward Teach, a man who turned fear into a weapon, chaos into a kingdom, and piracy into a spectacle the world would never forget. For a man so famous, remarkably little is known about his early life. Historians believe Blackbeard was born around 1680, likely in Bristol, England, a bustling port city filled with sailors, merchants, and criminals. His real name? Probably Edward Teach or Edward Tatch, but in his time, spellings changed with the tide. What we do know is this: young Edward grew up during the golden age of piracy, a world of collapsing empires, brutal colonial wars, and oceans full of treasure. He may have served as a privateer, an officially licensed pirate during Queen Anne's War, attacking Spanish and French ships for the British Crown. And like many privateers, once the war ended, he lost his purpose, he lost his income. And when law and order vanish from a sailor's life, piracy often fills the void. Around 1716, Edward joined the crew of an infamous Caribbean pirate captain, Benjamin Hornigold. Hornigold saw something in the tall, broad-shouldered young Englishman, a natural leader, calm under pressure, fearless in battle. Teach rose quickly through the ranks. But soon, Hornigold did something unusual in pirate history. He retired. And when he stepped down, he gave Teach a gift, a captured ship, fully armed, fully manned, fully ready for chaos. This was the moment Edward Teach transformed, and Blackbeard was born. Blackbeard understood something few pirates did: fear is a weapon. He tied slow-burning hemp fuses into his beard and hair so during battle, his face glowed with smoke and sparks like a demon. He wore a long black captain's coat, huge boots, a wide belt loaded with 6 pistols, and 3 cutlasses across his chest. Sailors whispered that he was the devil himself. Blackbeard didn't correct them. He encouraged it. In 1717, Blackbeard captured a massive French slave ship named La Concorde. He renamed it Queen Anne's Revenge, a nod to the Queen he once served as a privateer. He equipped it with 40 cannons more than some warships. It became the most powerful pirate vessel in the Atlantic. Blackbeard now led a fleet, not just a crew. With Queen Anne's Revenge as his flagship, he turned the Atlantic coast into a hunting ground. He blockaded shipping routes, captured merchants by the dozens, took rum, gold, weapons and supplies, and ransomed ships and crews, without killing needlessly despite the terrifying image. Blackbeard rarely harmed captives. He blockaded the port of Charleston, South Carolina, one of the busiest ports in the American colonies. For 1 full week, he stopped every ship entering or leaving. Merchants panicked. Politicians panicked. The entire colony froze in fear. Blackbeard demanded not gold, not weapons, but medicine. Some historians believe his men were suffering from syphilis. Others think he needed supplies for a long voyage. Either way, the colony paid up. Blackbeard got his medicine, laughed, and sailed away without firing a shot. It was his greatest victory, pure intimidation, zero violence. Soon after Charleston, Blackbeard attempted to enter a shallow inlet near North Carolina. But Queen Anne's Revenge hit a sandbar and wrecked. Some say it was an accident. Others insist Blackbeard did it intentionally to thin out his crew, to keep loot for himself, or to retire quietly. Whatever the reason, his great flagship was gone, but Blackbeard was not. That same year, Blackbeard accepted a royal pardon from the new governor of North Carolina, Charles Eden. On paper, he was no longer a pirate. In reality, he was still very much Blackbeard. Reports from the colonies claimed he stole cargo in the dead of night, confiscated rum shipments, held secret pirate gatherings, cut deals with local officials. The line between criminal and politician blurred, and Blackbeard grew richer than ever. Blackbeard made the small village of Bath his base. He bought a house, married a local girl, his 14th wife, according to rumor, held wild parties in the marshlands, buried treasure in secret coves. The people of Bath loved him. He brought money, goods, alcohol, entertainment. Blackbeard wasn't just a pirate now. He was a king without a crown, ruling through charm, gold, and fear. Governor Eden turned a blind eye. Why? Because Blackbeard kept the economy flowing. There's evidence the two even split profits. But the neighboring colony of Virginia was furious. Blackbeard was more than a pirate. He was a rival government. And Virginia's governor, Alexander Spotswood, vowed to end him. Governor Spotswood sent 2 naval officers on an illegal, unauthorized raid into North Carolina. Lieutenant Robert Maynard, Captain John Brand. Their mission was simple: kill Blackbeard at any cost. On November 21, 1718, Maynard found his target at Ocracoke Inlet, a quiet bay where Blackbeard was anchored with a small crew. Dawn broke. The water was still. Mist drifted over the waves. Blackbeard stood on deck, drinking rum. Maynard attacked, but Blackbeard didn't flee. He didn't panic. He charged. Finally, one of Maynard's sailors slashed Blackbeard across the neck. Another shot hit his chest. The pirate staggered, dropped his weapon, and collapsed. Blackbeard was dead. The most feared pirate in history was human after all. Maynard decapitated Blackbeard and hung his head from the ship's bow as proof of victory. His body was thrown into the water. Legend says it swam around the ship 3 times before sinking. After his death, Blackbeard became larger than life. Stories claimed he buried mountains of treasure, sold his soul to the devil, had supernatural powers, drank gunpowder mixed with rum. Most of it was fiction. But some truths remain undeniable. Blackbeard was a genius of psychological warfare, a master strategist, a charismatic leader, a man who used fear, not brutality, to dominate the seas. Despite centuries of searching, no confirmed Blackbeard treasure has ever been found. Some believe he spent it all. Others believe he hid it somewhere along the North Carolina coast. The mystery remains unsolved. In 1996, divers found a wreck off the coast of North Carolina. It was Queen Anne's Revenge, cannons, swords, tools, medical instruments, pieces of Blackbeard's world recovered from the deep. Modern archaeologists continue to uncover clues about his life, and with each discovery, the legend grows. Blackbeard wasn't the bloodthirsty monster of the movies. He wasn't the immortal demon sailors feared. He was something far more dangerous, a man who understood that fear is more powerful than violence, a man who built a kingdom from chaos and ruled the waves through terror and charisma. In just 2 short years, he changed history and became a symbol of the golden age of piracy. 3 centuries later, the world still speaks his name, the Pirate King, the Phantom of the Atlantic, the man who turned the ocean into a stage and lived forever in legend.